There's been a shock new character on SmackDown. I am Chopper Pequenel. This is Dave, just Dave, the friend, for the first time ever on WrestleTalk Live.
Yes.
Amazing stuff. And this is WrestleTalk Live. Before we get into the show, make sure to leave a thumbs up and a subscribe. And if you're in the chat, make sure to get in your super chats, as we'll be going through those later on in the show. But first things first, this is Dave.
Yes, this is me. Hello,
Yeah.
I'm just Dave.
Yeah,
the
you
friend.
are. The friend.
Not the fiend.
Not the fiend.
The friend.
The friend. If you guys haven't been keeping up with the YouTube storylines, you should go back and watch it, especially on yesterday's WrestleTalk News episode, as we cover why the hell Dave's here. Because he's a friend. The friend, some might say.
Very accusatory. Why is he
Why
here?
is he here? Who is that? He's not Ollie or Luke or Laurie or Simon.
Well, if they haven't seen the videos, they won't have seen me in the same room as them.
It's very true. Anyway, let's get on to the main talking point of the show. So, the main event of this show. This was an episode of SmackDown focused around the WWE draft and where people went and all that gubbins. The main event of the show was a rematch from Hell in a Cell. It was Bayley versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yes.
Now, it came out. Charlotte made her entrance first. Then there were some video packages for some reason.
Many minutes of video packages while Charlotte, I assume, just stood there.
Yeah, and just went, well, this is good.
Yeah.
And then Bayley came out.
Yes, she did.
And this was quite interesting, because she came out with a brand new haircut.
Very exciting times.
I know. She has black hair. It's in like a bob now.
Yep.
And then, after that, her music stopped.
Yep.
She just took her hoodie off.
Looking angry.
Looking very angry straight at Charlotte. And then she picked up this, like, weapon of war.
like
I don't even know what to call it.
Something that came from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, pretty much,
It looked like... It looked just like a plank of wood. It looked like a small, weird pickaxe.
Yes.
But with a longer handle and much more narrow, deadly, human stabby blades.
Human stabby blades.
Yes,
That's
but
the technical term for it.
It is. That is what the technical people call it. But she didn't stab humans.
No, she didn't.
No.
But she did stab me in my heart because she destroyed the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men.
Them, yes.
How dare she? About bloody time,
yes,
honestly.
It's really been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Like, she teased it the last time she came out. She was like, oh, do you still want them? Do you still want them? Yeah, we'll still have them. Now she's like, well, you know what? I'm done with them.
I'm done with them and I'm done with you. Yeah, she destroyed all of them, slashed them all, the air went out of them. She threw them off the stage and the crowd were booing. She's now very, very angry, which I really, really like. It's nice seeing an angry heel Bayley. Yeah. And it makes a difference from her coming out and being like, hey, I'm a heel, but I'm still doing exactly the same things I was doing before.
Yeah, it was kind of it was the equivalent of growing up awkward teen transition moment for her, I think. Yeah. It didn't really gel. We knew that she was heel, but she still, I'm a hugger. And now she's kind of like, I'm a psychopath. Or something.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Basically that.
Basically that. So yeah, she came up with this brand new attitude, commentary putting over, brand new attitude from Bayley. And she was saying it kind of that the Hell in a Cell match with Charlotte was kind of the breaking point of her. She threw a tantrum after the match and she looked all upset and the camera lingered on her for way too long while she was all sad and crying and stuff. But I really like this new persona. I do think, though, that maybe she could do with some new gear just to kind of differentiate the two characters, because I feel like she looked a little bit too similar, even with the new haircut. I think if she did a drastic overhaul and did, like, completely new gear, I think that might differentiate her a little bit more from her old character.
Yeah, I think you're right. If anything, like, the sort of the jacket she was wearing when she walked to the ring, something like that, just a little bit more metal. Almost.
Yeah.
Something like that. The colours were a nice change. She's not bright colours. It's not the pinks, the purples, the blues, the greens. It's just this sort of dual tone black and yellow gear going on. Not vibrant yellow, but faded.
It's like gold, kind of.
Yeah, almost like that. Yeah. Which is, it was a nice change. I think more, if anything, a step in the right direction.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, as the chat will no doubt be telling us, it's one step closer to Bayley Sting, everyone.
We're getting there.
It's happening. She's got the black hair now.
She does.
You know it's coming. You know it's coming. Sean Turner's going to be very happy. But then they get into the match, and Charlotte dominates most of it because she's Charlotte, and she's got to be strong.
Yeah.
It's not the way I would have booked this match, but it was fine.
It was a very fast start. Like, Bayley just went straight in and was like, ring bell, I'm going to punch you very hard now. And then, yeah, Charlotte be Charlotte.
Charlotte be Charlotte, yo. And I don't know if this is Charlotte's input or whether it's someone like Vince trying to say, we've got to keep Charlotte strong, so let's make her dominate most of this match. Or whether it's Charlotte actually being quite, like, I don't want to say arrogant, but, like, whether she has that tendency to kind of put herself over. I don't think she does. I think it's just Vince being like, I love Charlotte, let's push her lots.
Yeah, I could see that more, I think.
But this was actually, all that said, this was a fine match. This was a pretty decent match. And there was some nice spots on there. Bayley went for an illegal pin again, but Charlotte kicked out of it. Bayley hit a nice running knee and then an elbow drop for a near fall. She already hit a Bayley to belly earlier in the match, which Charlotte kicked out of. Yes. And there was a natural selection, which Charlotte then went into the figure 8 for, but then Bayley just rolled it up for the win using a roll-up, which is the strongest finisher in the women's division. A roll-up.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, wasn't a great finish. However, Bayley's the SmackDown Women's Champion again. Yeah. With this new character, which honestly I'm here for.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a very nice change. You know, we've had happy-go-lucky Bayley for so long, and it is one of those things people have sort of spoken about a little bit. It's like, I think it was more pronounced with Sasha Banks when she was face, and people really wanted heel Sasha to come back. And then you have all the commentary saying, you know, is this going to affect their friendship and everything? And Corey saying, oh, she's going to stay loyal, and then she only gone and done it.
Yeah, she went done did it.
She those are words that work together. She went done did it.
You heard me. Did I stutter?
It sounded like you might have done.
I did not.
It'd be what it did.
But then as she got the win, it sounded like there was some new music playing for Bayley as well. It was
that was
like
interesting.
A Rocky theme. Not Rocky the movie.
Not that one.
But the rock genre. It sounded guitar-y is what I'm trying to say. Not Atari. I'm going to stop now. But yeah, it sounded very much more like a kind of generic rock theme rather than, you know, the Bayley hugging music. Yeah. Which again is a very necessary change if this is the new character they're going for. Yeah.
That's sort of 2 of the 3 big changes that we'd look for in Bayley. The look, good change, certainly step in the right direction. Yeah. Music, again, very nice step in the right direction. There's just one more missing piece of the puzzle. Give us that finishing move.
Yeah, pretty please. I was saying, because peeling back the curtain, Dave and I came in very early this morning to watch SmackDown together, because obviously this is Dave's first time doing this, so in order to help guide him a little bit, we came in a little bit early, and we watched SmackDown together, and the whole time we were watching this match, both of us were saying, well, Charlotte's kicked out of the Bayley to belly. Yep. Bayley's going to do a new finisher.
Then she goes for the elbow drop, which Charlotte kicked out of as well.
Charlotte kicked out.
Thinking,
we're like, right,
surely.
This has got to be a new finisher for Bayley then. This is going to be cool. If she has some cool new finisher to fit in with the character, that's great. She didn't. She won with a roll-up, which is unfortunate. But then after that, she had that new music playing while she did it, and then she grabbed the microphone. Yeah. And she cut a promo that said, hey, you bitches, screw all of you, and then dropped the mic.
7-word promo.
I don't know how to feel about this promo.
Even with the heel turn that's been coming and been evolving, wasn't quite expecting that one.
No. I don't know whether it feels corny to me or cool. And I can't decide which one it is.
It's a weird mix of both.
It is. Because it's a cool thing to do, to come on and just be like, hey, bitches, screw all of you.
Especially after such a long time as being the hugger.
As a long time being the hugger, and with this whole new character and vibe about her, it's a very different style of her, and I think it really worked. I just don't think I'm ready for Bayley to start saying, hey, you bitches. Yeah. I think it just really it jarred with me. It was really, really a jarring thing to just go, wait, what? And I don't know if it was in a good way or a bad way. I can't decide yet. Either way, it was effective in what it did. I just think she shouldn't have won with a roll-up if she was going to win. Also, if Vince wanted, because the report is that the reason The Fiend didn't win on Sunday was because he wanted Seth, Brock, Charlotte, and Becky as your 4 big champions going into this new era of television programming. So why did Bayley win then?
Yeah, that's a
If you want Charlotte as the champ, why did Bayley win? Or more to the point, why did Bayley lose on Sunday to then win it back on Friday? That's the bit I don't understand. And maybe it was just they had Charlotte win in order to break Bayley, so she had a reason to snap and change character. Yep. That I can kind of buy. I think that works decently well. But I just don't know if they told that story enough, or if maybe this shouldn't have been for the title. Maybe it should have been Bayley beats up someone else first. Yeah. And then she goes back after Charlotte again. I'm not sure how to play it.
If Bayley had been... If that breaking point last Sunday was what it was, which is fair, if Bayley then, I don't know, just goes on a bit of a tear, gets a few squash matches under her belt, just beats people up, and works her way back to Charlotte.
Slices them with weapons of war.
That too,
things like that. Yeah.
Giving them scars, taking her pound of flesh.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You want to know how you got these scars?
So yeah, I think it's a good change. I'm excited for new Bayley.
Yes.
I'm excited to see where she goes from here. I don't want Charlotte to face her again.
No.
And I'd really like it if Bayley was a bit more dominant in her matches from this point on. Very much so. And I really want her to get to have a new finisher. That's what I take from it.
Maybe that's going to be Charlotte's thing. Maybe she's just going to be the one that turns people heel and breaks them.
Of course,
we've had Becky.
Yep.
Now we've had Bayley. I guess Natalia's next.
Anyway, that's going to be it for the main topic. Let's get into some Susu Super Chats real quick. We've got Jazoan saying, Bayley Sting finally happened. I knew that one was going to come up.
It was always going to be.
It's inevitable. The DA said, why does Bayley look like she wants to see the manager? Yeah, she kind of does. With that haircut, it's a very mum haircut, isn't it?
Come out with her new name of Karen.
It's just Karen. It's just Karen. Oh, man. Matthew Robinson said, finally Bayley heel turn. I mean, she was a heel before, but sure. Wish she practiced more on cutting down wavy men. That's true. I mean, I think it worked fine. I don't think there was anything necessarily wrong with her slashing the things. I think it worked.
Yeah,
it worked
I think she's probably not a natural with that. She doesn't have proficiency.
She doesn't have proficiency with that weapon. No, yeah,
I don't think anyone does. I think she probably invented it.
I don't even know what it is. It would look very makeshift.
Yeah,
it literally looked like someone had stuck some toilet rolls together and put a couple of blades on the end of it. It was really weird. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Pavi let Andy out of his cage. Let's not let Andy out of his cage. You should never be on a video ever again. Says, Dave needs a haircut and a beard to fit in.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to draw attention away from Pete's magnificent beard on my first time.
I mean, I think Laurie's is probably better than mine. Let's be real. I'm just saying, to fit in, you need a bald head and you need a beard. That's just kind of the quote. I don't know if you got the email, the memo from Ollie, but that's kind of the
Is this part of the hazing that I've seen?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. I'm telling you now, basically, you've got to shave. Just saying.
I'll do what I can.
They go on to say, also, doesn't Bayley's gear look like Dakota Kai's? A little bit. Such a bad draft. Wish it was when McMahon's took over. Yeah, it kind of was a bit of an anticlimactic draft, I'd say. It was a bit too quick for my liking. We'll talk about it more when we come on to the main show. Yeah, we'll get into that one. But yeah, you definitely need to shave your head, mate.
Do what I can.
Timothy Jones says, hey Pete and Guy, all I got out of that Bayley match is that they really want to get Charlotte to 16 reigns. Her last 2 to 3 reigns were less than a month. 100% agree. True. Yep, they just did it because it's someone that they wanted to beat Bayley with, and it's someone that they can get another championship reign out of. She's up to 10 now. Not before long, she's going to be at 11.
Yeah, they can start just piling on the numbers. I mean, we know they're not averse to like doing something for the record. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, definitely going to do it. Ali Mack said, heel Bayley is my bae. And in brackets, T, hug life. So it's thug life. It's like good. That. Very good. I like it. Very nice. We're fans of wordplay here. So very, very good. If you've got any more Susu Super Chats, make sure to get them in, and we'll go through the rest of them later on in the show. But for now, let's get into the rest of the show. Let's get into the rest of SmackDown. Absolutely. So, show started off, Pyro once again. Always nice to see. Always great to see Pyro. Love it. And the show kicked off with one of the announced matches that they had, which was Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. And the winner of this gets first draft pick for their brand, which doesn't really make sense because no one has a brand anymore. Yeah.
I don't really understand this one. So Seth Rollins was fighting for Raw. Roman Reigns was fighting for SmackDown, which is the brands that they were on beforehand. However, the point of this draft is that no one has any brands anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone is a free agent, essentially, and then everyone just kind of gets picked for each brand.
Yes.
So, doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
But sure, we'll look past it, I guess.
You could almost imagine the look on their faces being like, what are we really fighting for here?
Roman gets pyro because he's important.
Yes.
Michael Cole then points out the plot hole, saying, Roman Reigns is fighting for SmackDown here, but who even knows if he's going to end up on that brand at the end of the show? Well, why is he fighting then?
Yeah.
Idiot.
He had a few of those little nuggets of wisdom from Michael Cole. We may never see this matchup again. Firstly, I mean...
You will.
It's Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins.
You absolutely will.
We're going to see it again. They've both got quite a lot of time left.
Yes.
And also... I'd love to know exactly how many times he said that throughout the whole show. I wasn't counting.
It was a lot.
Many times.
That he said that one phrase in particular. When Seth came out, he was completely fine from Hell in a Cell. Absolutely zero stunning. Not necessarily from a physical standpoint, because he didn't actually take that many moves.
No, not really.
But the whole point of the match, I thought, was that Bray was goading Seth to embrace the hate, if you will. He was doing that to... embrace his demons and let him in, etc. And Seth did. And he went crazy. And he hit him with a sledgehammer and he didn't get DQ'd.
No.
It's referee stoppage. It's a very important difference. But then Seth came out here doing his burn it down. He was like, hey, Roman, fist bump, etc. Just broing out with two bros. So I don't...
Former buddies.
Former buddies. Seth and Roman, even though they are current buddies.
Yes, they were. They're former buddies. Former buddies. Yes.
I don't know anymore.
Does anyone?
So I didn't really like that. Great selling Seth, but hey ho. This, despite the rules meaning nothing, this was a fun match. This was very fun back and forth.
It was.
Really enjoyed a couple of their spots. There were some nice throwbacks to previous matches that they've had. Yeah. They had Rollins in control after an ad break. They had a suplex spot where both of them were trying to do a suplex back on each other. Ends with a Rollins knee. Reigns hits a power bomb, which he lifted him up with one hand, which was pretty cool. Two dives onto Reigns. There was a frog splash for a near fall. Burn it down chance. He goes for the stomp. Reigns counters. Enziguri from Rollins. Reigns and him go back and forth. And there's a buckle bomb into a Superman punch for a near fall. It was just fun. Yeah. It was really fun back and forth stuff.
I mean, you've got the two of the top, if not the top, obviously, guys on their brands. They had so many fights. It was a natural way to start it, and it's an obvious point for the commentators to say, these two know each other so well, but it made for some wonderful counter work.
Yeah. And on this occasion, it works because they really do know each other so well. Yeah. Because they debuted in the Shield together. Yeah. That's kind of the thing. There was a really nice spot here where Roman Reigns went for a spear and he countered it into a pedigree, which was a lovely throwback to the match they had. I think it was either at Payback or the one after. Whenever Rollins came back from his injury, I think it was at Payback, so it would have been the pay-per-view after that. There might have been Money in the Bank. Nope, Money in the Bank was when Ambrose won it. Can't remember what pay-per-view it was. However, that's how there was a spot when Seth won. Yeah. With that, he hit the pedigree from a spear. Reigns kicked out, and then he picked him up, hit another pedigree, and then just won.
Win, yeah.
So that was a really nice throwback to that spot. But then after that, Seth seems like he's gearing up for the win. Burn it down, etc. And then, lights cut out. Here comes The Fiend. Yeah. So, I thought their feud was over, personally. From Hell in a Cell, I thought that they didn't mention it on Raw because they wanted to just kind of... Really? Let's just forget that ever happened.
Brush it under the carpet.
Yeah, because they knew they screwed up with Hell in a Cell. That was my understanding anyways. Fiend comes out. This feud must continue. And he pops up from the ring. Yeah. Comes out from the ring. Mandible claws Rollins with half of him still under the ring. Then drags Rollins into the hole that he's made in the ring. And some smoke comes out.
Very, very Cain.
Very Cain. And I do worry that he's slightly becoming a bit more of a spooky smoke character rather than, a psychopath. A sociopath, as he said on the Firefly Funhouse. Yeah. I really worry that that's the direction they're going rather than what they'd built in the psychopath character.
Yeah, I hope not. I think we've heard how much sort of creative freedom Bray Wyatt is given with this kind of thing. If they're then going to sort of if they're going to be the ones to then mess up a booking as majorly as they did, such a big booking, and then to boot start messing around in that kind of creative direction. One of the most hyped roster characters in I don't even know how long.
So long, yeah.
Don't do him dirty like this.
No, exactly. But then Rollins comes back out of the hole.
Yes.
Climbs his way back out from the smoke. And we get one of the best moments of the show.
Go for Bray Wyatt.
Where the Fiend. Gonna do a live demo here.
He's not actually kneeling down.
He just pops up. Kind of like this. This is great audio content for podcast listeners, by
absolutely.
The way. He just pops up with his head.
Looks around a bit. And then just pops back down again.
And then just goes back down.
Like some kind of weird whack-a-mole.
It's a weird kind of gopher
yes.
that he was trying to imitate.
Yes.
Which I think was amazing. It was so funny. And it was great to see him just be like, huh? Am I going to continue beating you up? No, I don't feel like
I don't really want to.
And just went back in the hole.
Yeah.
And then you get the lights cut out again, and then he's on the stage.
Appears, yeah.
And then that must have been really weird for the live crowd, because even when the lights go out, you can still see it.
Yep.
So you must have just seen Bray just
Scuttling
walk up the ramp, just waiting.
just like army crawling.
And then you get the lights doing the wacky lights thing, and he's on the stage, and then it cuts to black.
Upshot of it all being that the match is a DQ.
The match was a DQ, which they bloody love doing these days.
Yeah, they do.
Wasn't a referee stoppage. Important to note that.
Very, very important distinction.
Yeah. And I mean, this was fine. This was something slightly different on the standard formula they've been doing of Fiend attacks Rollins, hits a mandible claw. Granted, they still kind of just did the same thing, but they added that little extra layer on top of it with dragging him in under the ring, which was a nice touch, I guess. I just don't see where they're going with the Fiend. Why are they feuding with Rollins still?
Yeah, it seemed like a weird decision to have taken after what happened at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
After the amount of people saying, like, well, if this, if the result wasn't going to go the way you wanted, don't book it in the first place.
Yep.
And then they just bring it back.
Yeah. So it's like, if they're building to Survivor Series to have the Fiend try and challenge Rollins there.
Yeah.
One, he has to win.
Yes.
But then two, this comes back to another thing that happens later on in the show. Bray Wyatt gets drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah. That was...
So I don't know where they're going. Because currently, Seth hasn't been drafted. He wasn't part of the draft pool that they had on SmackDown. He's going to be drafted on Raw, and you just assume one of the top picks for
Raw.
Raw, probably.
You'd think.
Because he's the Universal Champion. I could totally see him going to SmackDown, but I don't know what they're going to do with the belt if that's the case. Yeah. If he gets drafted to SmackDown and vacates the Universal Championship because that's a Raw belt, then having a Bray-Seth feud is fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. It's not for the belt. Bray can just win without, championships being ruined or whatever logic they want to use. So I think that would be fine. But also, the whole point of this is to resplit the brands.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't go to SmackDown, this makes no sense. Him continuing to pester Rollins makes no sense, unless Rollins goes to SmackDown as well.
I don't know if I see it happening.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
Some interesting decisions clearly have been made that, we cannot fathom.
Yeah.
Will we ever be able to fathom them? I don't know.
And I think the moment was pretty cool with him dragging him under the ring.
Yes.
Was slightly marred by Michael Cole saying, "The Fiend is dragging Rollins to hell!"
Yeah. I mean,
which is not a great line from Cole.
The time of underneath the ring being hell is so long gone.
So far gone now.
Like, you don't want the hokum anymore. Like, the reason the Fiend works is because he's not that kind of thing. He's
not a spooky dookie.
No, he's born of horror movies. He's born of slasher movies.
Yeah.
The kind of things that we actually do find scary. It's, it's not that weird Bray Wyatt's House of Horrors thing anymore.
Yeah, exactly. There's no projections on the ring,
no,
etc.
No, we find creepiness in other things.
Exactly, yeah. So this led to Seth Rollins gets the DQ win, which means Raw gets the first draft pick, which is probably the way it would have always gone, because Raw gets 3 picks every round and SmackDown gets 2, because Raw's a 3-hour show and SmackDown is a 2-hour show. So Raw gets more picks than SmackDown, which makes sense. So, we get on to my favourite thing on this show. We get a look backstage at the Fox and USA Networks War Rooms!
Oh, yes. They're not just rooms. Oh, no. They're not war.
They're not meeting rooms.
No.
They're not consultation
rooms.
They're not
boardrooms.
They're not boardrooms.
No.
They are war rooms. And these people in these rooms, they claimed they were USA and Fox Network execs. I have never seen a group of people that are less like Fox and USA Network execs than this bunch of people.
Never. We are more executive than
We're more executive than this bunch of people.
Yeah.
These people were the most obvious plants you've ever seen in your life, and they are the best thing on this show.
Oh, they were glorious. Don't get us wrong here. They were fantastic.
They were absolutely amazing. So we get a look backstage at the Fox Network one first.
Yep.
People there, it's like they've grabbed some people off the street, just said, do some business stuff.
Yeah.
So people are there going, on the phone. There's people pointing at whiteboards and waving papers and general business things.
And clearly there was one person who didn't have a suit. He said, I don't have a suit. What am I going to do? They said, you know what? We've got you covered. Because suddenly there was an American football robot cyborg.
Now, granted, I'm sure this makes perfect sense for American viewers. For people who understand what the NFL robot is, I'm sure it makes perfect sense.
We do not.
We have no idea what that is. And it looks, you've got to understand, for someone who is not privy to NFL, who doesn't see that kind of thing on the regular, that's such a jarring thing to see.
In a room full of people wearing suits.
These businessmen and women.
And acting like
they're robots. Yeah, and acting like he's one of us.
Yeah. One of the gang.
It was just so bonkers.
It was very strange.
We'll just talk about every segment that they're in now.
Yeah.
And then we won't come back to them later. Yeah. But they constantly, after every round of drafts, they went back into the war rooms and they showed their various reactions to things. So the first one, you saw the Fox Network reacting to them acquiring Roman Reigns on SmackDown. Spoiler, Roman Reigns goes to SmackDown.
Big acquisition.
Big acquisition. These businessmen and women, I want to point that out again, businessmen and women in suits with an NFL robot with them.
One of them wearing Ultimate Warrior.
No, that's in the USA one. That's the other one. We'll get to that one.
Yeah.
These businessmen and women all celebrate like WrestleTalk did when we pretended that CM Punk was going to AEW. They went, yeah!
They were all over it.
Massive celebration.
Paper flying everywhere.
Party poppers were coming out.
There were party poppers.
Oh, it was the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's beyond words how funny this is. I was crying from laughter.
Oh, yeah. He was. He genuinely was.
Actually crying from laughter.
I can't imagine what they were told to imagine they were celebrating.
You won the Super Bowl!
Yeah!
You won the Olympics!
Not your team won the Super Bowl.
No, you individually
you people won the Super Bowl and the Olympics. Celebrate as if that happened.
Oh my god.
And they lost it.
Yeah. In the USA one, there was a businessman, a USA executive, was wearing Ultimate Warrior face paint.
That particular room, I feel like that one didn't have anything as outlandish as the cyborg.
As the robot NFL.
But it had so many more little things that just made no sense. The massive box of Bootios on the table in this executive meeting.
A normal snack for a business meeting.
Of course. What else have we got here? There was of course the face paint.
The Ultimate Warrior face paint.
The Ultimate Warrior face paint. There was one of those. You know how like in movies when you go into the lawyer's office and there's that sort of name plaque. There was one there that just said The Authority.
Which would have been fine if Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were there.
They weren't there.
They weren't.
They weren't there. What else was there? They had these massive planning boards.
Yeah.
Clearly they were planning out their draft. Half of them were just massive pictures of the people they intended to draft.
You genuinely can't write this stuff, but clearly someone did, which
did.
is how it happened.
And one thing I noticed, just as we paused the still to get a picture for something, they had like these big like flat screen TVs, like computer projecting up on the wall. One of them had an error on it. It had an error message. Little box with a red cross in it. They're paying no attention to that, of course.
This was so good. It
was
made
mental.
my day.
It was mental.
Watching this. It's so stupid. Hokey. It was the funniest thing, and I'm so glad they did it. It almost made up for each superstar not coming out.
Yes.
Almost, but not quite. Anyway, let's get on to the first round of picks, because they explained the draft rules, which almost sort of made sense.
Rules.
Sort of.
We say rules.
I'm glad they explained it now and, not beforehand.
Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon comes out to officiate the draft process.
Yep.
She had a quite nice line when she came out, and she goes, "Come on, guys, no booing.
No booing.
What?
You disappoint me.
You disappoint me." It's
Lovely.
quite funny. Then we get the first round of picks. So Raw goes first, and they draft Becky Lynch.
Entirely fair.
Totally fair. SmackDown gets Roman Reigns. Totally fair.
Completely.
Both cover stars of 2K20.
Yep.
Both big names, big draws.
Very much
Makes perfect
associated
sense.
with those brands already. Perfect.
Yep, makes sense. Raw gets the OC.
Interesting decision.
Which, on paper, my personal view, top pick. Bloody love the OC. They're amazing. They did just get beaten by Braun Strowman and every other tag team in recent memory.
Yeah, it's kind of like you get the feeling that it's like they wanted AJ Styles, but the OC came with him.
The OC came with him, yes, exactly.
It's like you want to go out with your friends and your mum says, well, you got to take little brother with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Your two little brothers who are bigger than you.
Yeah, you can get AJ Styles. Also, the other guys are there, but whatever. And then after that, SmackDown got The Fiend.
Yeah.
The OC got picked before The Fiend.
Yes.
Good job, guys. But then to round off the first round, Raw got Drew McIntyre.
Huge fan of that pick.
Cool. Love it. Love Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
Glad he's there. We get the SmackDown War Room celebrating like they just won the Super Bowl. It's fantastic.
Which is good, because for the most part they were celebrating. There's one part where they were not celebrating, and they
got
got really into it. Someone genuinely threw his phone at the ground.
Such commitment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was incredible. They go to the WWE Draft panel, which is like the kind of panel they have for a kickoff show. There was Renee Young. Yep. I know there was Booker T.
It was Renee Young, Booker T, Beth Phoenix.
Oh, she was there! Yep. God, I did not notice anything she said.
And Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe was also there.
Being super nice.
Yeah. Just a babyface.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe. Also, Booker T said some things.
He said Booker T things.
Beth Phoenix was there.
Yeah.
No idea what she said, if she said anything.
Probably.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Tried to make the draft feel legit. Didn't really work. King Corbin came out next. And he cut a pretty standard promo just saying, "I'd share all my riches with you. I'm such a benevolent king." Just kidding, no, I wouldn't. No, you all suck.
I hate you all.
I hate everything. All hail King Corbin.
Which we do.
Yes.
We
He's
do.
very good.
Yeah.
Like him a lot. Outcome, but then after this, before Shorty Gable came out.
Of course.
We've got to talk to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck.
Yep.
For Buck's sake. And they talk about NFL or some other such nonsense. And talking about how prestigious a draft is. Nice try, is what I've written.
Yeah, apparently Troy Aikman was a #1 draft pick in 1989 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Why does any of that matter?
Why does anyone care? Our American viewers may do, because they follow NFL much more than us.
Oh yeah, we're probably going to get a torrent of hate comments in the chat round about now when people are just like, "You guys don't know about NFL," and we'll be like, "No, because we're in England."
Yeah, we're sorry. It's not
we're
our
not
bag.
Sorry. Not sorry.
I'm trying to be a friend.
You are the friend, Dave. Just
I
Dave.
am the friend, just Dave.
So yeah, we had some NFL people talking about NFL.
Yep.
King Corbin versus Shorty Gable was next though. We got a recap video package of Corbin versus Gable at Hell in a Cell and the subsequent beatdown that happened afterwards.
really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's very fun. And this again was a decent match. Yeah. A very, very fun finish, I'd say.
Yes.
It was a really good finish to this match. It was a standard match. Corbin overpowered him. Gable came back, did some few things here and there. Couple of German suplexes and things like that from Gable. His back gave out at one point because he couldn't quite muster him up, which was fun. The crowd actually chanted STD at Corbin, which I'm fully surprised that still exists in a week after The Rock came back and called him an STD. Fully expected that to die a death very quickly.
Apparently not.
But it's still going, apparently. So yeah, there was some good stuff in here. Corbin went for a deep six and Gable countered it into a bulldog.
That was nice.
That was very cool. He drop kicked Corbin into the timekeeper's area. Gable hit a really nice, beautiful moonsault from the top. Yeah, really good.
There was the Chaos Theory German suplex as well coming in.
It was amazing. And then Gable manages to lock in an ankle lock, which was cool. And then with Corbin trying to roll out of it, he rolled with him and maintained control on the ankle lock, which was super, super cool. As Corbin goes to counter it, Gable really quickly then rolls him up, which was another really great spot. But then Corbin kicked out, hit an end of days, and won the match, which is fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I think so.
Like, I'm not super invested in Shorty Gable, which is now his official name. His actual wrestling name is Shorty Gable.
It's on the Titan.
It's not Shorty Chad Gable.
It's not Chad Shorty Gable. No,
neither of those. Shorty Gable.
Yes.
Just one step away from Shorty G, guys. It's happening. So Corbin hit the end of days, got the pin.
Yeah.
Cool. Fine match. Fine match.
Yeah, no problem with it.
No, we had the next round of picks. Do you want to take us through these next round of picks?
Yes.
Dave.
Absolutely. So in comes round 2 of the picks. Steph is back out doing all the announcements. So up first in these picks for Raw, Randall Keith. The Viper. Very solid pick. Always going to go in the early stages is Randy. In for SmackDown, Sasha Banks.
She's got blue hair.
It had to happen.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the only reason.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think they're probably putting all their stars on SmackDown, but also she's got blue hair, and that's why it happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up next for Raw, taking Ricochet. Love it.
Sure.
Love me a bit of Ricochet. He's fantastic.
Oh, he is. He's just been treated terribly since he's come to the main roster.
He has.
Well, he had that really good start, and then they just kind of went,
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Let's just make you job to AJ Styles.
Also,
not job, but
Ricochet got picked before this next pick.
Yes, next pick for SmackDown, Braun Strowman.
Yeah, because they're putting all the big stars on SmackDown.
Yes.
That's how it goes.
It seems so.
Yep.
And then the final pick of round 2, the second pool of drafts, final pick for Raw, Bobby Lashley. Let's
reward the guy that's cheating on another man's wife.
And the crowd goes mild.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Yep. That was that.
The Raw room celebrated the Autumn Get.
Yes.
Again, celebrating like they won something really big.
Absolutely.
They go back to the draft panel. Booker T says some more nonsense. Please stop.
Yeah, I've pretty much just written, shut up, Booker T.
I put, please stop, Booker T.
Ah, you were much more polite than I was. Being a very bad friend to Booker T.
We got a video recap of the Braun Strowman Tyson Fury confrontation from last week.
Yep.
And we got the official announcement, though it was official before the show started, of Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel.
Yes.
On Halloween.
That's going to be fun then.
Tyson's going to win, so...
You'd think.
Yep. Cool. Then we got a video recap immediately after that. So after we got a video recap of a confrontation that led to a match at Crown Jewel, we then got a recap of Kofi Kingston versus Brock Lesnar with the Cain Velasquez debut from last week, which led into the announcement of Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel. It's the same thing. They just did the same thing back to back.
Yeah, no spreading out.
Space them out so they're not at the same point. I don't know.
One earlier, throw one in later. It's not that difficult.
No, but hey ho.
Yeah.
Cain Velasquez reportedly signing a multi-year deal with WWE.
Yep.
You can hear more about in the news later today.
Absolutely.
So we got the edited version. I'll be doing the review of SmackDown, and Dave is going to be going over the news in the edited version of the video, which is going up later today. So watch that. And then speaking of Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar, we get Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming out next to talk about that match at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
This was an interesting promo because Heyman really, really put over Cain Velasquez.
Oh yeah, he massively bigged up how much of a genuine threat he is, about how he's the only thing. Was it actually Velasquez is the only thing Brock feared, or was it that day?
No, he's saying the only thing that Brock Lesnar fears is reliving that day where Cain Velasquez beat the ever-loving S out of him.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. And he did.
Oh,
he
yeah,
really did beat the ever-loving S out of him. He's still got that scar on his cheek. You seen that scar on Brock Lesnar's cheek? That's from Cain Velasquez.
They showed, like, the video package and footage and pictures of what happened that day. And, like, his face is just...
It's just red.
Covered, beaten up.
Yeah.
Like we're used to him doing to other people.
Yes, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, he was really putting over the fact that Cain is a threat and that Lesnar is legitimately scared of him, which is a weird thing to admit. It was a very roundabout way of saying, Cain's really good and we want you to think he's really good, but also I'm going to run him down.
Yeah.
It was like, look, Cain's the only thing that Lesnar fears. But Lesnar conquers his fears. We really don't want him to relive that day. Seriously, he really got beaten up. But we will beat you. It was like a really like... It was quite jarring for me for them to just be like, Lesnar's scared everyone, but he'll beat you. It just didn't really... The transition of like... A really good promo is when you build up your opponent and then take them down further from there. This, I don't think, quite managed it. It built up Cain, but then it didn't really do the taking down bit.
No.
It didn't do it effectively, I should say, because they did try to do it, but I don't think it quite worked.
No, quite. It's like they were trying to emulate that whole Brock versus Goldberg promo, which is one of my favourite things Paul Heyman's done in recent years, the but.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. And this whole thing he's doing now, this isn't a prediction, it's a spoiler, doesn't really have the same gravitas as what happened there.
And especially because he went to go say it, we're going to beat Cain Velasquez... That's not a prediction. That's a... And then he got cut off by Rey Mysterio's music, which means it's not a spoiler, which means Cain Velasquez is winning. So yeah, he gets cut off by Rey Mysterio's music. Out comes Rey Mysterio and not Dominic. Cain Velasquez is back again.
Yep.
Still weird to me that Cain Velasquez is coming out to Rey Mysterio's music, but... It doesn't really fit, I wouldn't say.
No, not entirely. He'll get his own eventually, won't he?
Hopefully. Just kind of...
You'd hope.
You could tell it was a last-minute decision on WWE's part to try and get Cain Velasquez. But anyway, they come out, and Cain has a really great line. He says it in Spanish, and Rey Mysterio translates it.
Yeah.
But I almost understood it. This is someone who studied Spanish for A-level and was quite good at it.
Not me.
Almost understood it, but then I was like, no, lost me. But then, luckily, Rey Mysterio translated it, and he said that the scar that Lesnar's got on his cheek, Cain's going to give him another one at Crown Jewel on the other side of his face. Yeah. And I was like, that's a cool line.
That's quite a nice line.
I quite like that.
Then just turned around and walked off.
And then they just, they stared him down for a bit, and then they just walked off, which was awesome. Yeah, I'm honestly quite excited for this match. I didn't think I would be, but I am.
I think I'm looking forward to it more than I am Strowman Fury.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, I agree with that. The New Day are backstage. They do their place. Las Vegas, I think they were in.
That's the one.
Yep. And then it goes to an ad break.
Yes.
Get excited for some adverts.
Yeah.
We got some more people talking about NFL. Sure, whatever.
We're not really sure who they are.
Who they are or what they're doing. I'm sure it's important to some people. For non-US viewers, not a clue.
I guess you can see vaguely in a roundabout way why they're doing it this way.
Oh yeah, absolutely see why they're doing it. They want to have it more sports-centric. They're on Fox. They're going to get the sports people to talk about WWE as if it's another sport that can slot in right alongside your NFLs and your NBAs and your others.
Go on, try again.
Sports.
There you go.
So I can see why they're doing it. It just doesn't resonate with a non-US crowd. No, is what I'd say.
I mean, obviously with the NFL, they do have their own drafts.
Yeah,
which is kind of where they're going with this. It's one of the more famous drafts going, and now that you've got the 2019 draft coming up, obviously here, makes sense in that regard.
It does make sense why they're doing it. I just don't like it.
That's fair.
Whatever.
Not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
New Day are on the stage, and they do a promo for Susan G. Komen. They got a couple of breast cancer survivors with them. Yep. They put them over, and how they met them a few years ago and helped them through it. They give them their own SmackDown Women's Championships, which is cool.
Yeah, it's a nice feel-good segment.
Then that leads to a New Day versus OC match.
Yes.
And okay. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done the Susan G. Komen stuff. Absolutely do that.
No, of course.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thumbs up from that. If you're going to then go into an OC versus New Day match, have Kingston, after that's done, have Kingston talk about his WWE Championship loss from last week. Because at the minute, Kingston doesn't care.
It's like it's just been forgotten by him.
By him, yeah. He came out, didn't address his loss in any way, shape, or form.
No.
He was just part of the New Day, and they came down for a 6-man tag match.
Yeah,
He was WWE Champion a week ago.
He was WWE Champion a week ago after his whole build-up, the whole 11 years thing going, getting the crowd on, like, as long as the New Day have been a face stable, people have always loved Kofi.
Yeah.
People have always loved Kofi from before. He's always had a decent groundswell of support at lowest. And for him to then come out and just not... It was like he'd never even been champion.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It was like he'd never even been in the frame. And it's weird from a point of view of the fact that he was and he's just not addressing it. And it's kind of odd for the fans who really, really got behind him in a way that, even with the support he's always had, it's never been that much.
No, never.
And to just completely disregard it is, I don't want to say it's a slap in the face, but it's odd.
Kind of is. A little bit.
It kind of is, isn't it?
Kind of is a slap in the face. It's like you really believed in this guy. We're going to make him lose in 9 seconds, 7 seconds, whatever it was. And then he's not even going to care.
No.
And I'm sure Kofi Kingston, the person, cares.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Kofi Kingston, the character, does not care.
No.
Which is just, I don't know.
It's sad.
It really, really, it leads into that Brian Alvarez rant that he had before Hell in a Cell, saying that WWE don't care about their fans, you're just a mark. Really kind of lends some credence to that.
A little bit.
Honestly. But anyway, we get the New Day versus the OC in a 6-man tag match. The OC, of course, lest we forget, were the second pick for Raw.
Yes.
Second pick for Raw.
Second pick overall.
Facing former WWE champion Kofi Kingston. What's the good way out of this? There isn't one.
No.
This was a decent match. It didn't go very long. There was an ad break in the middle of it. Almost immediately after the bell rang, there was an ad break. It didn't go super long. This match had a very cool finishing sequence.
It did.
Really, really cool. There was Kofi and AJ Styles in the ring, and they just countered each other's big moves constantly. Yeah. SOS gets countered. Calf Crusher countered. Went for the phenomenal forearm, countered. It was just constant back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which ended with a Trouble in Paradise from Kingston, pinned Styles for the 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
So, Kofi should be beating AJ Styles. Kofi was WWE champion a week ago.
Yep.
AJ Styles is the current US champion. Kofi should be beating Styles.
Yes.
However, you've got 2 other people on the OC that are currently not champions.
No.
Why didn't Kofi pin one of them?
That would seem to be the logical conclusion. But of course, from watching the match, they weren't really in it.
No. I mean, I think they did stuff through the ad break, but of course we don't see that.
No, we don't see that at all. All we really saw was, I think, who was it who started it off? I think it was Gallows started off against Woods. Woods had some good showing in that match, mostly taking out the OC on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, Woods got immediately big booted as soon as the match started.
Yeah.
Then when he came back, they were fighting back. New Day fought back, and Kofi got a hot tag pretty much straight away. And then everyone did some moves, and then Woods took out everyone, and then you had the finishing sequence.
Yeah.
And that was about it. So, I don't know how to feel about this. It's good that Kofi got a win. Because if Kofi lost again, that would have been a massive slap in the face.
Yeah.
That would have been awful. If he'd have lost to the OC, that would have been bad. So I'm glad Kofi won. I just didn't want him to sacrifice AJ again. Yeah. Because AJ seems to be doing a lot of that lately. Yeah. And I don't like it. Especially because he's a champion. Anyway, Kofi got a win. That was good. There was a recap of the Fiend stuff from earlier in the night.
Yep.
Then we got 2 back-to-back draft pick rounds.
Yes, we did.
So we started off with Raw drafting Alexa Bliss. Just Alexa Bliss. No Nikki Cross. I thought, whoa, they're splitting up Cross and Bliss.
The SmackDown robot was so upset by that.
Oh, so upset.
Really was having a breakdown.
His feelings switched to sad. So they drafted Alexa Bliss. SmackDown then got Lacey Evans.
Yep.
Which I called. Raw then got Kevin Owens. Sure, I can dig that.
Fine.
Sure.
Good with that.
Big pick. SmackDown then got the Revival, who are, lest we forget, because I forgot, SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Completely forgot that one. Then Raw gets Natalya. This led to my favourite moment of the night.
the Raw team.
The Raw War Room.
Who were stoked by this.
They were so excited to get Natalya. Oh my god, they were so excited. Because they showed Fox being really mad about not getting Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
And then they showed Raw being super happy about getting Natalya.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, I just love Natalya! Was what everyone was saying. Apparently. So. They went nuts. They celebrated more for Natalya than they did for Randy Orton.
Yeah, they genuinely did. It was bemusing.
It was incredible. I loved everything about these war rooms.
Oh yeah, the war rooms were fantastic. They need them on all episodes.
They do, yeah. They just have random war rooms with no context in every episode going forward.
They don't even have to be from those companies.
No, just have random people.
Just have assorted ones. Like the sponsors. The sponsors should have their own war rooms.
Exactly. It's perfect.
Those Cheez-Its from Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
So give them one.
Give them more Cheez-It pizzas flying across the room.
And someone dressed as a kangaroo, probably.
And then we got the final round of the draft.
Yes.
Do you want to take us through those ones?
Yeah. Coming in for Raw, this was kind of the tag team round.
Yes.
Raw taking the Viking Raiders. Nice pick. Like that.
Yeah. Can dig it.
SmackDown responding with their own heavy-hitting tag team of the Lucha House Party.
Sure.
Not sure I saw that one coming, but sure. Speaking of things we then didn't see coming, Raw took Nikki Cross. You have very strong feelings of hatred about this, don't you?
I have strong feelings of hatred for this. Because they have marketed this that it's the executives from these broadcasting networks that have made these picks.
Yes.
Not WWE. USA and Fox have made these picks.
Yeah.
Why would you make USA Network look like a bunch of idiots? Because Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross were listed as a tag team. They could be picked as one pick if they really wanted to, unless they wanted to split up a tag team and take one but not the other. They could do that if they wanted to. So USA have wasted a pick by taking Alexa by herself and Nikki by herself, and they've run the risk of SmackDown taking Nikki when they still wanted her.
Yeah. They could have...
Why?
I know. And there are people they could have taken, who I'm sure we'll come on to in a little bit. Potentially they could have taken. There's just so much about it that when you put it all together, the only conclusion is it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. That is it. It does not make sense.
If you want to split them up, move them to different brands. If you want to keep them together, draft them together.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't a big deal. That's the thing. We are nitpicking at this point.
We really are.
But it just doesn't make sense. Just do stuff that makes sense, and we won't be nitpicking.
And I want the best for Nikki Cross.
I want the best for Nikki Cross as well.
Big fans of Nikki Cross.
And then after that,
SmackDown took Heavy Machinery. Sure. And Raw, with the last pick of the night, took the Street Profits.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're actually going to be wrestling now, I guess that's a good thing.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Because,
that'd be a novelty.
Yeah, them just being backstage doing hype man promos is not great. If that means they're gone from NXT, though, I'm not going to be too excited about that. I guess, to be fair, they kind of had their send-off when they faced Undisputed Era. They made their entrance with Wale and whoever that is. And then they did their whole thing.
It's just a name you've seen written down on paper.
Absolutely, it is. So, yeah, I mean, they had their big entrance, their send-off for that, so I guess that's kind of their NXT thing. They're former NXT Tag Team Champions, so not too much left for them to do, I guess. So I guess moving them up to Raw is fine, as long as they actually wrestle.
Yes.
That would be that.
Yes, we'd like them to see them actually do things.
Exactly, yeah. We went back to talk about some NFL stuff, and then we got an inside look at Tyson Fury. Yes. And then we had the main event that we spoke about before.
Yeah, absolutely.
So overall, it was interesting. There's a couple of names. There's a few names that were in the draft pool that didn't get picked.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Two in particular
really stood out. One being Cesaro.
Huge name that didn't
How did he not get picked? And the other one is Shorty Gable.
Yeah.
Who had a match on this show, who recently beat the King of the Ring, King Corbin, at Hell in a Cell. Granted, he lost tonight, but he's kind of on the upward momentum even with a loss.
I mean, he's having one of the most, put across feuds in the company at the moment.
Yeah. And he didn't get drafted at all. Which is just, it's really strange. And I don't know why you do that when you'd pick the Street Profits. Or you'd pick Natalya.
Or you'd pick a tag team in 2 separate picks.
Or you'd pick a tag team in 2 separate picks.
That's what lends even less gravitas to that. The fact that people like Cesaro and Shorty Gable were overlooked to the point of taking a tag team in 2 picks when you could have taken them in 1.
Yeah.
Very strange.
It's whatever. It's fine. Overall, so first night of the draft, it was an anticlimactic draft because, as we mentioned before, as these picks were called out, the stars in question, they did not come out onto the stage to be like, woohoo, I'm here, or woohoo, I'm there.
No, they didn't.
They just had a graphic for them on the screen. And I think the crowd really didn't like that. The crowd really deflated after they found out that they weren't going to be seeing their favourite stars.
That's the main thing. I mean, I think the crowd were expecting to.
Exactly, yeah. And then they didn't, and they got a bit sad about it.
Yeah.
So we're going to be expecting more of the same on Raw. We've got a much bigger draft pool to go with on Raw.
Yes.
So it should be another interesting show, and I'm looking forward to seeing where people end up, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
But overall, I gave this show a 3 out of 5, a smack bang in the middle.
I think that's pretty much fair.
Yeah.
Pretty much bang on.
There wasn't anything that really built to anything. There was the Bayley-Charlotte stuff, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the new character for Bayley and all that. The beginning match didn't really mean anything, and so while it was fun, it lacked stakes, and then they had the Fiend ending, which again was cool, but also not cool, and I don't really know where they're going. It was very kind of middle of the road for a lot of this show, I'd say.
It was a show, I think, that was not as great as the sum of its parts.
Yes.
You had some very cool moments. Some arguably very, very cool moments. I mean, from individual spots to sequences that went on. But when you put them all together, it just didn't gel enough.
Yeah.
They weren't enough to put it over as something great.
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, I think that's kind of it at the end of the day. It was very middle of the road. It was very pedestrian, I think, especially for a draft episode. It's very pedestrian.
Very much so.
But regardless, I'm still looking forward to Raw to see what happens with the rest of the draft.
Absolutely.
So, that's it for the show. Let's get on to your Super Chats. I'm going to start off talking about the ones continuing about Bayley. And Matthew Robinson said again, Bayley won so Charlotte can win it back to be an 11-time champion, or Charlotte may go to Raw to have Becky feud again. I do not want another Becky-Charlotte feud.
I think we've seen so much of it. You know, Charlotte was the one who sent Becky down that path.
Yes.
And I think, it'd be nice to have a fresher feud, even if that feud is something we have seen before, maybe not something that we've seen so recently.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, I don't really want Charlotte to be feuding with Becky again. Jonathan Hedman said, hi guys, I have a theory. Bayley's turn makes Sasha see the light, blames herself, and she tries to turn Bayley back. I would hate that because they've just turned Sasha heel, and they should really milk that for all it's worth before they turn her back again, because they haven't yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Get those two together.
I'd be okay with that.
You know, if Bayley goes to SmackDown, which is seeming likely now.
Yeah, probably. Do you want to take us through the next lots?
Yes. Matthew Robinson, love that they kept the OC together. Good move. It was funny seeing fake executives meeting for USA and Fox teams. 100% with you on that.
Honestly, should have rated the show 5 out of 5 just for those.
I rate the rooms 5 out of 5.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I mean, the rooms 7 out of 5.
Yes.
Easily.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. Rex Joseph Calmarin, I really hope I'm not butchering that.
Lovely man. Met him at the WrestleTalk meetup.
WWE gonna WWE?
WWE gonna WWE, man.
It's the equivalent of hate is gonna hate. With the draft leaks, what an incompetent billion-dollar company. I kind of felt sorry for Fox and USA now.
I mean, I haven't seen any leaks personally. I didn't hear about any draft leaks, so...
It was, sure. The only things I really heard that people were talking about was the 2 picks that were most hyped to go to their particular brands was The Fiend and Aleister Black going to Raw and the big dog Roman Reigns and Charlotte Flair going to SmackDown. One of those, of course, already been proven false.
Yep.
One true. The others, I believe, still yet to come.
Aleister Black's still in the. He's going to be in the draft pool for Raw. Roman Reigns got drafted. Charlotte's going to be in the draft pool for Raw as well.
Exactly.
So we'll see.
We'll see. It's going to be fascinating to see. Matthew Robin saying, interesting, Becky staying on Raw with Sasha now on SmackDown.
Well, hopefully that feud's now finished.
We'd like to see.
And I feel like it should. It's been quite a decisive finish to that feud. Hell in a Cell is a good finish to that feud. Becky won convincingly and clean. So I think that feud is done. Sasha can move over to SmackDown and have different feuds over there. I'm okay with it.
Sasha versus Charlotte, a revisitation, given that they're now on the opposite side of things.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Dynamic. Pavi let Andy out of his cage. Is he still in there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think
still
so.
in there, yeah.
What have we got here? Charlotte stays in SmackDown, Sasha is in SmackDown, and Bayley is in SmackDown champ. Who is Becky going to feud? Another Lacey Evans or Natalya?
Well, Lacey Evans is now on SmackDown as well.
That's true.
Natalya's on Raw. So look forward to Becky versus
Natalya.
For like a year.
Until they're ready to bring someone up.
Until they do another draft. Can't wait.
I'd watch Becky versus some of the NXT crop.
Oh, I'd watch Becky versus
Shayna.
All of the NXT crop. Becky versus Shayna. Becky versus Bianca Belair. Becky versus Mia Yim. Becky versus Io Shirai.
Yep.
Becky versus Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
Yes.
Any of these things.
Any of those. Yes, please.
Shayna versus Becky. Which one can break the other's arm quicker? Oh, dear me.
Next one.
Man's Reality. Really surprised with who ended up on Raw. I mean,
I'm not, because SmackDown's the A show now.
Yeah, I suppose they're looking with that with Fox, of course.
SmackDown's the A show. That's it.
It makes sense they'll go there. I was personally surprised by Bray just because of what I'd read, but having spoken about it, having sort of thought about it with hindsight, it makes a bit more sense. It does make a bit more sense. Tomo, what is up?
Generous donation as well.
Very generous. Thank you very much. For you guys, who was the most shocking draft pick, and why was it Lucha House Party to SmackDown?
Admittedly, that was a very shocking draft pick.
It's up there.
Because I forgot they existed.
Yep, pretty much the same. I thought that, because they said, anyone who isn't drafted is going to be sort of free agent. They decide where they go, and people's first reaction is, well, where are Lucha House Party going to go then?
Exactly, yeah. Most shocking, realistically, I think, was probably The Fiend, because I genuinely didn't know where he was going to go. So to see him go to SmackDown is like, oh, that's actually happening. Cool.
That had the shock factor of the fact that it was just so big.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Whereas I think Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, we all kind of saw coming. Granted, I would have thought Becky would have gone to SmackDown, even though she's a Raw Women's Champion. I would have thought that they wanted her over there. But I wasn't too shocked that she stayed on Raw, considering she's got the Raw Women's title, so whatever.
I think shock's coming here with, how high people were picked up.
Yeah.
I think we expected certain other ones to be picked over some of the ones that were.
Yeah.
Lucha House Party very much included.
Oh, yeah.
But, let's see what they can do.
Yeah.
What have we got here? Beverly Sayar, the War Room are NFL draft rooms when the NFL draft players from universities each year. Fox are going to co-brand with the NFL and WWE. Okay, so they actually have War Rooms in NFL draft.
Still ridiculous.
I did not know that.
Still stupid.
Did not know that at all. Matthew Robinson, I was thinking, do no American viewers think that Fox has a real robot that they work with? I hope so. Oh, God, I hope so.
I really hope so. My God, I really hope so.
I want every office in, Fox buildings to have its own room robot.
Room robot. Roombot.
Roomba.
Roomba.
This is how it starts. Excuse me. No. Dina Sisse, I hope I'm saying that. Sisse.
Ah, she's a moderator on the WrestleTalk Discord.
Ah, well, lovely. I will remember that. Becky and Sasha have a match to decide who gets first pick for night 2, which makes sense because they actually have brands.
That's absolutely true, yeah. If they do a Becky-Sasha match, and they fight for their brands, that makes total sense.
That does make sense.
Total sense. That's fine. That's totally fine. When you have brands, that makes sense. Now we get on to the next section of Super Chats about The Fiend. Jobber JJ, Ollie Davis' #1 fan, said, King Chopper Whopper, you have a friend Dave, not Meltzer. That's your new name, Dave, not Meltzer.
I can live with that.
Yep. WWE draft was lame. They have no idea where to go with The Fiend next. I think they have an idea, sort of. In fact, no, I don't know if they have an idea. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're trying to build a Survivor Series to a title match. I don't know if they're just trying to keep him relevant. I don't know if they have a plan.
I think we'll only really get an idea ourselves if they have an idea once the second part of the draft is done, once we can see any kind of potential opponents for him, see who he's going to be working with. At the moment, we've got Reigns.
Yep.
I'd watch.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Highwell DDA said the hokiness of the Fiend angle tonight, combined with the stupidness of the Hell in a Cell angle, killed the Fiend's momentum dead for me.
I don't know if it's dead yet. There have been too many steps in the wrong direction with it for something that started just so magnificently the way it did.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's dead yet, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to the man himself.
Yes.
Like, we know how much work and creativity he's put into this himself. I don't think he's going to let it go that easily.
No, exactly, yeah.
So, I hope not, anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely hope not.
Don't think he's ruined yet, but he will be soon.
Crossed.
Duffs101 said, the Fiend has already jumped the shark. Why am I not the least bit surprised? It's like WWE never had any intention of making it work and only ever saw it as a mid-card novelty act. I disagree with that. They didn't see him as a mid-card novelty act because, one, the way they way overprotected him in the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Like, he was no-selling stuff that he should not have been no-selling.
Yeah.
And I think with all the amazing merchandise selling that he's been doing and, like, the special Firefly Funhouse box that we've got right here, doing series of those.
And is completely innocent. There's nothing wrong with the Firefly Funhouse box. I think that Ollie and Luke were just too scared.
Okay. Yeah, so I think with all the extra merch and stuff he's been doing, with all the protection he's had, I think they do still see him as a main event player, but they're just going about it the wrong way, I think.
Yeah.
Finally, about the Fiend, Elizabeth Williams says, "Gotta love the Fiend." You do.
Yeah, I agree
even
with that.
still, you still gotta love the Fiend, even with all the other stuff.
Yes.
Next up,
SmackDown. Oh, okay. I'm still learning people's names who are.
Here we go.
Who are wanting in. I want to say Sidesh Miryanka.
Yeah, Mijanko. I don't know.
Seth versus Roman on SmackDown. Don't remember the last time I was heavily behind Roman. Vince finally got Roman over in my eyes for one match.
Because everyone hates Rollins. Hashtag Seth Rollins is not cool. Is
that actually a hashtag that's going around now?
Seth's using it, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's quite something.
Damn.
So yeah, Seth v. Roman on SmackDown. They really wanted to make Roman a face, huh? And that I said to you, it's a conspiracy theory. That's what this whole thing was for, is to get Roman over. That's what it's always about. They did the whole Fiend and Seth thing.
Always comes back to Roman.
To make Roman more over when he faces Seth.
Oh, man.
Makes perfect sense, guys. We got one about AEW from Matthew Robinson, who said, I feel like one thing AEW is missing is better entrances. Only good ones are the Elite and Jericho and Shawn Spears. I could agree to that. Yeah, I think yeah, the AEW entrances aren't super eye-catching. They're not very unique, I'd say, from person to person. You can easily get mixed up with who's who. I think in time, kinks will work themselves out. Other people will get more songs. They'll figure themselves out. They're still trying to, hit the ground running at this point, and they're still trying to find their feet. So I think in time, it'll be all right. Yeah,
that's something that will just come once they start doing. I think it literally is just going to come with time and more shows.
Yeah, I think so as well.
They'll get there. Coming in for talking about NXT, Matthew Robinson, like how they are having...
Matthew Robinson has super chatted like 17 million times today. Thank you, Matthew Robinson. But seriously, keep your money to yourself sometimes, because that's an awful lot of super chats. Jeez. Continue, sorry.
It says, like how they are having the Ripley working her way through NXT Women's Field and not just get the title shot. The build is great.
It is great. I do totally agree. She is building herself naturally. People are very into her. She's going to be facing Bianca Belair. At least that looks like the way it's going. It's great. And I'm really hoping it builds to War Games, where she eventually beats Shayna Baszler for the title.
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Obviously, with Baszler being built as just unconquerable at this point, it's going to have to be someone of Ripley's stature and ability and history. And I agree with you. Much like how she's moving her way through, it's not just we're going to shove her straight in, like I think they kind of have done in the past with some people.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's nice that they're just having Ripley move her way through
organically.
She doesn't need to prove herself. She's Rhea Ripley, but she is anyway.
But she's proving herself anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Exactly.
I like it.
Sterling Van coming in. Walter versus Oni Lorcan. You're welcome.
Oh! That's a match I want to see. I just want to see Walter chop the ever-loving hell out of Oney Lorcan. For him to fire up, chop Walter back. Chop him incessantly. So Walter's almost on the recline, and then Walter just goes, nope! and then kills Lorcan. Him down. That would be so good. And I really want that match now. So thank you for that suggestion, Sterling Van.
We're into that.
Now we get on to everyone's favourite section, the miscellaneous section. Zach Ikon Littner said, hello, new friend guy. We conditionally love you. Not unconditionally love you. Conditionally love you. There's some what's the word I'm looking for? Requirements you've got to hit first before they love you.
We might even say conditions.
English is hard.
I'd be very interested to hear what these conditions are, but I thank you anyway.
Your casual fan said, is the video thumbnail CM Punk with Cameron Grimes' hat? Those are my two favourite things. CM Punk and Cameron Grimes' hat.
Oh, man.
Razman's Reality said, Pete, your mic is off, although our moderator has helpfully put in lies underneath it, which
lies
is
all
lies. So thank you, moderator Mike. Soul dude it for being a good moderator. Donald Drew said, long-time Podswafter, first time watching live, and first super chat. Keep up the great work, boys. Well, thank you, Donald Drew, for hopping on over to the YouTube version. Now you've got faces to go with the names, although first time name, I guess, so you wouldn't even know his face. You wouldn't even know his name before you even came over.
Either way, thrilled to have you along.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have you here. Just No Yes said, finally, Chopper the birthday boy is getting a chance shot. I don't know what a chance shot is, but I think it's one or the other. About time on his birthday. I mean, yeah, so I'm taking over the SmackDown whole shaboodle. Shaboodle? Caboodle.
Shaboodle?
I was going to say shebang and caboodle, so I said shaboodle.
Could have been kabang.
So yeah, now I'm taking over the SmackDown stuff, and I've brought my friend along with me. So, you know, fun times.
Happy birthday.
I like it. Happy birthday. Thanks, me. Elijah Whitfield said, the weapon looks like a shuffleboard stick. It really does. It really... Google it.
Oh, damn, it does.
Google it. If you don't know, Google shuffleboard stick. It does.
It does.
Jesse Venable said, truly love being able to support WrestleTalk. Without you guys, I don't think I'd be watching WWE, AEW, or Independence. You guys make it so much more enjoyable. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jesse.
That is a lovely message.
That
Jesse
means
Venable.
the world to hear.
Christian Baltimore said, happy birthday, King Chopper Whopper. Still not my birthday, but thank you. Lucas Harrison said, we know Roman Reigns will beat Brock Lesnar soon.
He does that because he's happy, because it's a feud he wants to see so much.
I swear to God, if they do that again, I swear to God, I'm going to be so sad. The thing is, though, you know with Cain Velasquez coming in now?
Yeah.
Every feud they've done with Lesnar, they're going to do it again with Cain. They're going to do it again with Cain Velasquez.
Oh, no.
It's the same character and the same thing, but they're just going to Control-C, Control-V. Brock Lesnar, Cain Velasquez. Oh. So now, you know how Brock was holding the title hostage? Well, get ready for Cain Velasquez to do exactly the same bloody thing.
That's put a dampener on things.
Anyway, Elijah Whitfield said, don't worry, the Cowboys suck, go Eagles. Cool. Those are just words. I don't know what teams those are.
Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yeah, thank you. Got that. Justin Todd said, can't use the name War Raiders, but War Rooms. This company.
Makes a very compelling point.
Yeah, don't mention the War Rooms. Lucas Harrison said, fan of the NFL, but it doesn't belong on WWE TV. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, with you on that.
If you're a fan of NFL, then watch the NFL. Why are you watching WWE? Classic AJ said, so happy for all the success of the channel and the growing success of Screenstalker. I'm a special needs teacher, so it's difficult to find days to support with super chats, but now I can. AJ from Boston. Well, thank you very much, AJ, for all the support. And yes, I'm also very happy about the growing success of Screenstalker and this channel too, because now we get to have things like Dave being here.
Woo!
Yeah. Zach Icon Littner said, King Chopper Whopper and Viscount Dave the Friend.
I can live with that.
You're a Viscount now.
I'm getting promoted so quickly.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
I didn't even know that I was in like a royal line.
I guess if I'm king, you're just my subject.
Wow.
Anyway, we got the new ones that came in.
Not sure how to feel about that.
After we started this, I'm quickly moving on. You can do these last ones.
Thoughts on Bailey Sting, Dave? Is it possible? I've been reliably
That's from
informed.
Sean Turner, who created the idea of Bailey Sting.
I've heard of this, Sean Turner. I've been unreliably informed by this one that it is possible. But with more support for it, I'm starting to think you might be reliable on this information.
Right. She's got black short hair now.
Yeah.
She's a heel.
She is.
She just needs face paint, mate.
And she's got a weapon.
That's going
to be her signature weapon.
Oh my god. She's actually going to slice her opponents.
And that weapon stings things. So.
Yeah, that was bad.
That'll happen. That will happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone get used to that.
I'm not on 100% when it comes to, good
anything.
Wordplay.
Anything, yeah.
Yes. Matthew Robinson coming in once again. Thanks, Pete. Sorry, can't see you guys live during the week, so this is only time I can live chat. Pete, I am your #1 fan. People remember, it's not his birthday.
Thank you, Matthew Robinson, for saying it's not my birthday. I think that's probably the first person who super chatted in to say it's actually not my birthday.
I genuinely think you might be right there.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Matthew Robinson. Lovely to have you here, mate.
We have that Natural Herb. When will we get NWA Power and Impact weekly review?
Oh, probably never. I mean, we only have so much time. We're very stretched as it is. We've had to get Dave on just so we can do SmackDown. So in order to do even more shows, we don't really have the capacity right now to do so. So unless, Impact becomes a huge show on Tuesday nights, or NWA Power becomes like a huge show, then I wouldn't see it likely in the near future. We might mention some things if there's some notable storylines and stuff will get mentioned on the news and things like that. But full-on reviews, I would say, is unlikely, unfortunately, just because we only have so much time. We'd love to do them, but only so much time. Well,
there we go, that Natural Herb. There is the answer. And Sam Cropper, what if, hear me out, the war rooms were real?
That would make it so much better. If there were real execs with an actual robot man with them, and they just went crazy for all of their incredible reactions that they had.
Oh, God.
I'd love it. It would be incredible. It would be absolutely incredible.
I would be all about it.
Yeah.
Because again, it would just make it so that we could have them every week.
Exactly. Yeah.
They could just add more and more things to the rooms.
Just have a war room every week.
Just keep adding more things.
Yeah.
Just a little thing every single time. I think we've got one more coming in here. Anthony James. Shorty Gable is stupid and childish. Vince now burying Gable instead of Cedric. Such a shame. He's a great wrestler.
That is correct. Shorty Gable is a stupid idea. I'm glad that he's at least getting TV time, as opposed to, Cedric Alexander. But I don't know. I mean, it's a stupid idea. Calling him Shorty Gable is stupid.
Yeah.
Shouldn't do it. But it's okay, he's getting TV time.
Yeah, I mean, I get sort of not allowing the whole you're short thing to get on top of him too much.
Yeah,
like
because he's short.
Nice. I genuinely didn't go for that, but
yep.
We'll run with it.
Yeah.
Like this whole sort of I'm not gonna let it beat me kind of thing, but it kind of is almost hypocritical in a way of them because he's just calling himself Shorty. Like your name's Chad.
Yeah, you have a name, mate.
Yeah,
you're called Chad.
Yeah, exactly.
We've actually got one more then. Kushrinada said, if AEW kills NXT in ratings, how long will it be until Vince intervenes and kills the brand further with his oversight? I don't think he will.
I'd hope not.
I don't think he will, because the idea of NXT going on Wednesday nights was not necessarily to beat AEW, it was just to siphon viewers away so AEW doesn't do as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It was never the idea to really beat them, and the fact they're getting quite close, honestly, I think is a good thing for NXT, so they can just carry on doing what they're doing.
Precisely.
Yeah, and it'll be fine. So that's it for the Super Chats. Thank you all so much for your support. But before we get out of here, we've got to say some special thank yous to our $25 and above pledge hammers on Patreon. If you haven't gone to our Patreon yet, patreon.com/WrestleTalk, you can become a patron as well, and you can get your own personalized wrestling name that we'll read out on this very show. So thank you to the man who wears the gold, the man recognized by SWAF Nation International as the 24/7 champion, our legend. Woo! Yeah. And nice. You get your own cheap pop. You get your own cheap pop.
The redneck, Dennis Hicks.
Woo! Yeah, Dennis Hicks.
Yeehaw.
Michael Plowman, that's his name. That name again is Michael Plowman.
Michael Plowman.
Yeah. It is a Simpsons reference.
Join him, Johnny Oa.
Johnny Oa.
Johnny Oa.
Oh, yeah, very good. Big Bad Blake Lloyd.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Nice. Martin Santo, you're talking to me?
Hey, you got the reference first try. Lovely stuff.
Of course.
The Perfect Storm, Noah Trombley.
Noah.
Oh, yes.
Woo!
Perfect Storm.
Caught in a Travis web.
Great pun work. Great pun work. Great stuff.
Absolutely love it.
I think he's talking to you, Damian Thompson. Oh, yes. Great stuff.
Beautiful.
Great stuff.
The monster among Patreons, Brian Strowman.
Brian Strowman. Yeah, very
Clap
good.
these hands.
Yes, clap these hands. Ooh, Stream Slayer. Ooh, yeah.
Woo!
Very
Lovely,
good.
Lovely. So handsome, he makes all the boys Joe Ellis.
Joe Ellis.
Joe
It's
Ellis.
Great. Great pun work from Andy Datson. Shaun of the Dead Peril. Oh, yes.
Lovely.
Great
lovely
stuff.
We're going on a Brian Huntley.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yes, we
All the
are.
way out on the hunt. And finally, Robin Banks Lee Roberts.
Woohoo!
Thank you very much, everyone, for your support on Patreon, and thank you for watching. If you are watching this on catch-up, please press the videos that have just appeared on the disc and leave us a like and a subscribe as well, and leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of SmackDown. I have been Chopper Pete Quinnell. This is Dave, just Dave, the friend, Dave not Meltzer. He's got lots of names now, and that was Rambling.